The elevator doors open at 4:02 in the morning, and you already know something is wrong before you even step out. The lights on the 40th floor are on, all of them, and you are the only person with the key card that grants access to this level before 6. You tighten your grip on your laptop bag and walk forward, your heels echoing against the marble floor of Novagrid Systems, the company you built from a garage in Austin into a billion-dollar name in 11 years. You are here because in 6 hours, you will stand in front of your board of directors and explain why your platform has been failing for 7 straight days, why the banking clients are threatening to walk, why your best engineers, 12 of them, working around the clock, still have not found what is breaking your system. Every single night at exactly 3:47 a.m., you turn the corner toward the engineering wing, and your heart stops. There is a man on the floor. He is lying against the wall beside the server room, a thin gray hoodie pulled over his head, his knees curled toward his chest like a man trying to keep himself warm. Beside him, a backpack, worn, frayed at the zipper, and behind him, glowing in the dark like a quiet accusation, a monitor still lit up, code scrolling across the screen. Your first instinct is fear. Your second is fury. You do not think, you act. Your hand moves for your phone, ready to call building security, ready to have this stranger removed before he can explain who he is or how he got past 3 layers of card access that should have been impossible to bypass without a badge. But something stops your thumb before it touches the screen, the monitor. You step closer, careful, quiet, the way you'd approach something you don't yet understand, and what you see freezes you in place. It is the error log, the exact error log your engineering team has been chasing for a week, except now, at the bottom of the screen, there is a single line that should not exist. Status resolved. Your breath catches in your throat. You crouch slightly, careful not to wake him, and you scroll upward through the commit history, line after line of clean, deliberate code. Comments explaining every decision. A patch note written at 3:52 a.m., only minutes after your system had crashed for the 7th consecutive night, that reads, race condition in the async queue handler, fixed with a mutex lock on write operations, tested against last 6 failure logs, confirmed stable. Your engineers could not find this in a week. A stranger sleeping on your floor found it in 9 minutes. You stand back up, your pulse hammering, unsure whether to be afraid or amazed. And that is the exact moment his eyes open. He startles upright so fast his backpack tips over, spilling a folded blanket and a single laminated photograph onto the tile. He scrambles to his feet, and for a second you see pure panic on his face. The look of a man who has been caught somewhere he believes he is not allowed to be. I can explain, he says, his voice rough with sleep, his hands raised slightly, like a man used to be accused of things. Please, I wasn't stealing anything. I wasn't. Who are you? Your voice comes out sharper than you intend, edged with the exhaustion of a woman who hasn't slept properly in a week either. Wendell, he says. Wendell Marsh. I clean this floor. Overnight custodial. I have a badge, I swear. It's in my bag. You look down. There, half tucked beneath the fallen blanket, is a laminated cleaning services badge, with his photo on it, the kind contracted through a third-party vendor your building uses. Not an engineer, not an employee, a janitor, and yet, the screen behind him is still glowing with a solution. Your 6-figure engineering salaries couldn't produce. Did you write this? You point at the monitor, and something in your tone makes him go very still. He glances at the screen, then back at you, and for a long moment, he says nothing. You watch something shift behind his eyes, some internal calculation of how much trouble honesty is about to cause him. Yes, he finally says. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have touched it. The screen was already unlocked when I came in to empty the trash, and I saw the error. And I used to do this a long time ago. I couldn't stop myself. You used to do this, you repeat. I was a senior systems engineer, he says quietly. 8 years. Before what? He looks away, and you notice, for the first time, how thin his jacket is for a Texas night. That dropped into the 40s. How his shoes are held together at the sole with what looks like electrical tape. How there are dark circles under his eyes that sleep alone could never fully explain. Before things fell apart, he says, you should call security. Every instinct trained into you by 11 years of protecting confidential systems, sensitive banking data, and a company that employs 4,000 people tells you to have this man escorted out immediately and to loop in legal by sunrise. Instead, you hear yourself ask, can you walk me through what you fixed? He blinks, as if he expected anything but that question, and then, slowly, carefully like a man stepping onto ice he isn't sure will hold his weight, he sits back down at the terminal and begins to explain. He talks about race conditions the way other people talk about old friends. He shows you the exact millisecond window where two processes were colliding, a flaw so specific and so deeply buried in the architecture that your team had been looking in every wrong place for 7 days. Because the crash logs pointed to a completely different subsystem. He walks you through his patch, line by line, explains why it will hold under production load, explains what would happen if you deployed it without proper testing versus what would happen if you didn't deploy it at all, and let the failures continue. Tonight, during your board presentation, in front of the very clients, threatening to leave. And as he talks, something remarkable happens. The fear in his voice disappears. His shoulders straighten. His words come faster, sharper, full of the kind of quiet confidence that cannot be faked. The confidence of a man who has simply been starved of the chance to use what he knows. Where did you work before? You ask when he finally pauses for breath. Halden Meridian, he says. A name you recognize instantly. A fintech company that collapsed in a round of brutal layoffs 18 months ago, gutting entire departments overnight. I was let go in the second wave. Then my wife got sick. Ovarian cancer. I spent everything trying to save her, and I still couldn't. He says it plainly, without asking for pity, the way people speak about wounds that have scarred over, but never fully healed. I have a daughter, he continues. Junie, she's 7. After my wife passed, I couldn't keep the apartment. I couldn't find engineering work fast enough. Not with the gap on my resume, not with everyone asking why a senior systems architect was applying for entry-level roles. So I took the janitorial contract. It's steady, it's honest work, and it lets me pick Junie up from school every single day because I clean overnight while she's asleep at her grandmother's, and I'm home by 7 a.m. to make her breakfast. And tonight, you ask, why were you sleeping here? His jaw tightens. The heater broke in my car 3 nights ago. I've been parking in the garage after my shift, catching a few hours before. I have to be at Junie's grandmother's by 6. It's warmer inside than in the car. I know I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. You stand there in the fluorescent hush of the 40th floor, and something inside your chest cracks open in a way 11 years of boardrooms never managed to do. Your phone buzzes. A text from your CTO. Board moved up. 8 a.m. They want answers, or they want blood. 4 hours. You look at Wendell Marsh, a man who fixed in 9 minutes what your team couldn't fix in a week. A man who has been sleeping in a parking garage, so his daughter never has to know how close to the edge they are living. And a decision rises in you that surprises even yourself. I need you in that room at 8 o'clock, you say. He blinks. What? The board doesn't just want to hear that the bug is fixed. They want to hear why they should trust it's fixed. And the person who can explain that best isn't my CTO right now. It's you. I'm not. I can't just walk into a boardroom. I'm not an employee. You're the reason this company might survive the next 24 hours. You say, get some coffee. There's a shower on the fitness floor. I'll have someone bring you a shirt. We move in 3 hours. What follows is the fastest, most chaotic 3 hours of your professional life. You wake your CTO with a phone call that makes him think someone died. You pull your head of engineering, a sharp skeptical woman named Odalise Ferris, into the office at 5 a.m., and you watch her face cycle through disbelief, defensiveness, and finally, something close to awe, as Wendell walks her through the fix on a live staging server. You authorize an emergency deployment window. You rehearse with a man who 3 hours ago was asleep on your floor. Exactly how he will explain to 9 board members why the crashes will stop tonight. At 7:52 a.m., you stand outside the glass doors of the boardroom, and Wendell adjusts the collar of a borrowed shirt 2 sizes too big for him, his hands trembling slightly. "If I get this wrong," he says quietly, "it's not just my reputation. It's yours too. It's the whole company." You didn't get it wrong at 4 in the morning. With nobody watching, you say. You're not going to get it wrong now, with everyone watching. At 8 o'clock am sharp, you walk into the boardroom together. The presentation begins smoothly, and for the first 6 minutes, it works. Wendell explains the race condition with a clarity that has 3 board members nodding, actually, nodding at technical language they've never fully understood from your own senior engineers. But at minute 7, disaster strikes. The live staging environment, meant to demonstrate the fix under simulated load, freezes. The screen behind Wendell locks up entirely, and a murmur ripples through the room, sharp and immediate. The sound of confidence draining out of 9 powerful people at once. Your stomach drops. Wendell doesn't panic. He steps toward the terminal, fingers already moving, muttering something about a memory leak in the load simulator itself, not the patch. He works in real time in front of the board in front of you, tracing the failure with the same quiet focus he had at 4 in the morning when he thought no one was watching. 90 seconds pass. They feel like 90 years. Then the screen unfreezes. The simulation completes. Every transaction processes clean. The room exhales as one. Your chairman, a man who has never once in 11 years given you an easy meeting, was at Wendell and asks the only question that matters. Who exactly are you? And you answer before Wendell can. He's the man who's going to make sure this never happens again, you say. Effective immediately. Wendell Marsh is Novogrid's new senior systems architect. The board approves it in less time than it takes to pour a second cup of coffee. That evening, you don't go home right away. You drive, at Wendell's quiet invitation, to a small house on the edge of town, where a woman with kind eyes opens the door, and a little girl with 2 missing front teeth comes barreling out shouting, "Daddy," at a volume that could wake the whole street. Junie stops short when she sees you, suddenly shy, hiding halfway behind her father's leg. "Junie," Wendell says, crouching down to her height, his voice thick with something he's trying very hard to keep steady. "This is my new boss, and starting tomorrow, we're not sleeping in the car anymore. Not ever again." The little girl looks up at you with wide, uncertain eyes, and then, without warning, she wraps her small arms around your waist in a hug, so sudden and so fierce that it knocks the breath clean out of you. You kneel down on the porch steps, in your work clothes, in front of a house you'd never seen a week ago, and you hold onto a stranger's daughter, as if she were something precious the universe had entrusted to you by accident, and you think, not for the first time, but for the first time in years, with any real weight behind it, that the most important discoveries you will ever make in this life are never the ones you go looking for. Sometimes they find you, asleep on your own office floor, at 4 in the morning, when you least expect them. 6 months later, Wendell Marsh leads the engineering team that built Novogrid's most stable platform in company history. Junie has a room of her own for the first time since her mother passed, painted the color of sunflowers because she asked for it herself, and on the wall of the 40th floor, right outside the server room where you found him, there's a small plaque now, one that most visitors walk past without a second glance. It simply reads, "Some of the best solutions arrive when you finally stop looking only in the places you expect to find them." You walk past it every single morning, and every single morning, you remember exactly why it's there.
Kindness does not always look like grand gestures. Sometimes it's simply choosing to look closer before you judge. This story is a reminder that everyone deserves a second chance. If it moved you, share it with someone who needs it and subscribe for more stories like this one. Thank you for being here.